In the first light of dawn on the Giza Plateau, the Great Sphinx of Giza casts a long shadow across the sands. For nearly 4,500 years, this monumental statue, about 66 feet tall and 240 feet long, carved from the bedrock, has guarded its secrets in stoic silence. But today, something unprecedented is happening. A team of archaeologists stands atop the Sphinx's weathered head, preparing to pry open a hidden hatch just above the statue's eyes. This metal hatch, sealed shut since 1926, has long tantalized researchers and dreamers alike. As its rusted bolts finally grown free, the world holds its breath. What mysteries might be concealed inside this ancient guardian's skull?
Ancient artworks from the New Kingdom show the Sphinx wearing a tall crown. And if such a crown existed, the hole in its head may have been cut to anchor it in place. Whatever its original purpose, that opening was sealed nearly a century ago when French engineer Émile Barrès reinforced the Sphinx and bolted an iron trapdoor over the cavity in 1926. For decades since, this secret door has remained off-limits, until now. As the heavy iron lid is pried open, a musty gust of air escapes from the darkness within. Peering down, the archaeologists see a narrow vertical shaft dropping about 6 feet into the Sphinx's head. The walls of this hidden space are straight and squared, clearly shaped by human hands, while the floor is rough, natural rock, sitting a few feet above the outside ground level. In the beam of a flashlight, they notice a thin crevice snaking even deeper down from the bottom of the pit, a tantalizing passage into the unknown. The team exchanges excited glances. They are peering into a part of the Sphinx unseen by any living person for generations. Carefully, one explorer lowers a small camera into the shaft, its cable trembling slightly as it descends. The video feed reveals more details of the chamber's interior. Every surface is coated in centuries of dust, but faint chisel marks are visible, evidence of the labor that carved this secret hollow long ago. There are no gleaming treasures or ancient scrolls here, only stone and silence. Yet, even the bare walls speak volumes. It's possible the Great Sphinx wasn't always the uniform sandy hue we see today. Archaeologists have found traces of red paint on the Sphinx's face and hints of blue and yellow on its body, indicating this giant statue was once vividly painted in garish colors. Perhaps, protected from the elements, a tiny remnant of that ancient paint still clings inside this shaft. It's a quiet reminder of the Sphinx's former glory, a time when it gazed out over the desert in full color under the Egyptian sun. Having opened the hatch and documented the chamber, the researchers carefully descend from the Sphinx's head, exhilarated by their find. What they discovered is not a hidden treasure chamber, but something perhaps more profound, a direct insight into the Sphinx's construction and the efforts of those who have guarded it through the ages. The precisely carved walls of the shaft suggest that ancient builders, or perhaps later restorers, intentionally made this opening. Was it simply to anchor a piece of the Sphinx's headdress, or could it have been the beginning of a passage intended to probe deeper into the massive stone body? For now, the Sphinx isn't giving up that secret. The narrow crack at the bottom of the shaft remains unexplored, beckoning future investigation. Still, the very act of entering this legendary monument has made history. After generations of speculation, experts have finally set foot and camera inside the Sphinx, turning a new page in the story of this mysterious colossus. One reason for such caution is that the Great Sphinx, for all its fame, remains an enigma in many ways. Astonishingly, not a single written record from the time of its construction has been found to tell us the statue's original name or purpose. Egyptologists generally believe it was commissioned by Pharaoh Khafra around 2500 BC as part of his pyramid complex. Yet, no inscriptions definitively link Khafra to the Sphinx's creation. This ambiguity has given rise to alternative theories about the monument's origin. Perhaps the most provocative idea comes from geological studies of the Sphinx's body. The statue's flanks and the walls of its enclosure show erosional patterns that some geologists argue could only have been caused by prolonged heavy rainfall, not the kind of weather Egypt has seen in the last 4,500 years. According to this controversial hypothesis, the Sphinx might be far older than commonly thought, potentially dating back to the end of the last ice age, around 10,000 BC. Such a time frame would vastly predate the pyramids and pharaonic civilization, hinting at a lost chapter of history. Having opened the hatch and documented the chamber, the researchers descend from the Sphinx's head, exhilarated. What they found wasn't treasure, but something more profound: insight into the Sphinx's construction. The carefully carved shaft walls suggest ancient builders, or later restorers, intentionally made the opening. Was it to anchor part of the headdress, or the start of a deeper passage? For now, the Sphinx keeps its secrets. As the sun climbs higher over Giza, the archaeologists secure the hatch once more, knowing they have touched a fragment of history. The Sphinx, with its impassive gaze and battered face, resumes its silent vigil over the desert, now with one less secret hidden inside. Yet in solving this small puzzle, the team has opened a door to even deeper questions. What other long-buried secrets lie beneath the sands of Egypt? The next discovery could be just around the corner. In fact, experts have recently stumbled upon a baffling artifact that may be older than the Sphinx itself, an object so mysterious that it defies all known logic. But that is a story for another day, one that will carry us even further into the thrilling depths of history.
The Giza Plateau, a landscape dominated by the majestic pyramids and the enigmatic Great Sphinx, stands as a testament to the power and ingenuity of the 4th dynasty of Egypt's Old Kingdom, 26,013 BCE to 24,094 BCE. These iconic monuments, particularly the Great Pyramid of Khufu, have captivated the world for millennia, solidifying Giza's place as a cornerstone of ancient Egyptian civilization. However, beneath the shadow of these colossal structures lies a hidden history, a past that predates the pharaohs of the 4th dynasty, possibly by centuries, if not millennia. Recent research and a renewed focus on past excavations are beginning to peel back the layers of time, revealing a far more complex and ancient narrative for Giza, one that may necessitate a rewriting of its very origins. At the heart of this historical reassessment is a seemingly insignificant site, the Cromer Dump, an ancient disposal site that could potentially hold the key to unlocking Giza's pre-dynastic secrets. Located to the south of the Giza Pyramid complex, the Cromer Dump is a crescent-shaped accumulation of ancient debris, a seemingly mundane collection of discarded materials. First excavated in the 1970s by the Austrian archaeologist Karl Cromer and later re-examined in 2018 by the Ancient Egypt Research Associates under the direction of Dr. Mark Lehner, the dump has been traditionally viewed through the lens of the 4th dynasty. The AERA's 2018 findings, for instance, led them to characterize it as a 4th dynasty demolition and trash heap, with materials consistent with a demolished royal rest house
or small palace dating back to the reign of Khafre, builder of the second pyramid. This interpretation aligns with the prevailing understanding of Giza as a necropolis primarily developed during the 4th dynasty. However, Cromer's original findings, meticulously detailed in his extensive 1978 publication, Settlement Finds from the Early Old Kingdom in Giza, Austrian Excavations 1971 to 1975, paint a far more nuanced and intriguing picture. While acknowledging the undeniable presence of 4th dynasty materials, Cromer also identified a significant number of artifacts that he dated to the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd dynasties of the early dynastic period. Even more provocatively, he believed some artifacts even hinted at pre-dynastic activity on the plateau, predating the unification of Egypt under Narmer, also known as Menes. This raises a fundamental question that challenges the conventional narrative. Was the Cromer dump merely a convenient disposal site for the 4th dynasty builders? Or was it a repository for materials from a much older settlement, a vibrant community that thrived on the Giza plateau long before the pyramids were conceived? In his 1972 preliminary report, Cromer put forward a bold and, at the time, radical hypothesis. Based on his initial findings, he proposed that an extensive settlement existed on the site of the Giza plateau, flourishing from the 1st dynasty through to the 3rd dynasty. He postulated that at the beginning of the 4th dynasty, this settlement was deliberately demolished to make way for the construction of the royal necropolis, a grand project that would forever transform the landscape. This interpretation directly challenges the long-held view of Giza as a relatively vacant landscape before the 4th dynasty, suggesting instead that it was a site of significant human activity for centuries prior. If Cromer's hypothesis is correct, it would necessitate a fundamental reassessment of Giza's early history and the motivations behind the choice of this location for the royal cemetery. Cromer's claims were not based on mere speculation, but on a careful analysis of the artifacts unearthed from the dump. Let's delve deeper into the key pieces of evidence that support his hypothesis. Pottery, a ubiquitous find in archaeological contexts, often serves as a crucial indicator of chronology and cultural affiliation. Cromer identified numerous pottery shards within the dump that exhibited decorative scratch marks, reminiscent of styles associated with both the pre-dynastic Naqada II culture, 3500 to 3200 BCE, and the early dynastic cultures of Lower Egypt. The presence of these distinct pottery styles suggests that the Giza settlement may have had connections to, or was even inhabited by people from these earlier periods. Perhaps the most compelling and chronologically significant evidence comes from the clay ceilings found within the dump. Clay ceilings were used in ancient Egypt to secure containers, doors, and documents, often bearing impressions of cylinder seals or stamps that identified the owner, official, or institution responsible. Cromer discovered several clay ceilings depicting animal figures, hieroglyphic symbols, and geometric patterns. Based on stylistic comparisons with ceilings from other sites, he confidently dated a number of these ceilings to the Thinite period, a term used to describe the early dynastic period, dynasties 1 and 2, when the city of Thinis, near Abydos, served as the capital. In addition to pottery and ceilings, Cromer also uncovered a variety of stone tools, including fishing hooks, blades, and triangular scrapers. While these types of tools are not always definitively datable, as their forms can persist for long periods, their presence is consistent with pre-dynastic and early dynastic technologies. Their context within the dump, alongside the pottery and ceilings, strengthens the possibility of their earlier origins. Furthermore, the discovery of faience tiles within the dump adds another layer to the argument. Faience, a glazed ceramic material, was often used in royal and elite contexts. Cromer noted the similarity of these tiles to those found in the southern tomb of Djoser, the first pyramid builder of the 3rd dynasty, located at Saqqara. This similarity suggests that structures of some significance, possibly even royal or administrative buildings, may have existed at Giza prior to the 4th dynasty. One of the most intriguing and debated finds from the Cromer dump is a small 3.6 centimeter long mud statuette of a sphinx. Unearthed in Trench F, alongside the crucial early dynastic clay ceilings, this object, according to Cromer, could potentially be the oldest Sphinx statuette ever discovered in Egypt. However, it deviates significantly from the standard iconography of later Sphinx representations, sparking considerable debate about its date and meaning. The statuette's most striking feature is its lack of the iconic pharaonic Nemes headdress, the striped headcloth worn by royalty. Instead, it sports a meticulously detailed hairstyle with individual curls arranged in concentric circles. This unusual feature immediately sets it apart from the vast majority of known Sphinx statues, which almost invariably depict the royal headdress. Cromer, who firmly believed that the Great Sphinx of Giza was a creation of Khafre, tentatively dated the statuette to the same 4th dynasty reign. However, he acknowledged the stylistic peculiarities. The absence of the royal headdress, the crudeness of the carving, although the hair is remarkably detailed, and the unusual posture of the lion's body all raise questions about this attribution. The presence of pre-dynastic pottery at various locations on the Giza Plateau provides a crucial link to the earlier cultures that inhabited the region before the rise of the unified Egyptian state. The Ma'adi culture, a significant pre-dynastic culture that flourished in Lower Egypt from around 4000 to 3200 BCE, is of particular interest. Archaeological evidence, primarily in the form of pottery, confirms that the Ma'adi people had a presence at Giza. While the extent and nature of their occupation remain largely unknown, the Cromer dump, with its potentially pre-dynastic artifacts, offers a tantalizing glimpse into this earlier period. It raises the possibility that Giza was not merely a vacant landscape chosen for its strategic location by the 4th dynasty kings, but rather a site with a long and complex history, a place that may have held significance for the Ma'adi people and their predecessors. If you liked this video, then hold on to your hats, because you're going to love our next adventure. Get ready to unearth the secrets of Tanis, a lost Egyptian city shrouded in mystery. Once a powerful capital, rivaling even Thebes, Tanis now lies in ruins, its stones bearing the scars of a devastating past. Was it destroyed by divine wrath, as the Bible suggests? Or was it the victim of a terrifying ancient weapon, like the legendary Greek fire? Join us as we explore the ruins, examine the evidence, and delve into the various theories surrounding the fall of this once great city. From colossal statues to scorched stones, Tanis offers a glimpse into a forgotten world and a mystery that continues to baffle experts.
Before you stretches a scene of haunting desolation. Not the shadow of the Great Pyramids, but a place equally steeped in ancient power, yet far less known. This is Tanis, the City of the Sun, a name whispered in ancient texts, a place of sacred rituals and immense wealth. But look closer. Priceless statues bear the scars of unimaginable heat. Colossal pillars, once symbols of a mighty civilization, lie shattered as if crushed by the hand of a vengeful god. What happened here? Was this city known as Zoan in the Bible truly cursed? Did it fall victim to the shifting sands of the Nile or to the wrath of invaders? Or is the truth even more astonishing? Imagine a statue 100 feet tall, carved from solid granite, weighing more than 1,500 family cars. A feat that would challenge even modern engineers. Tanis holds secrets etched in scorched stone, secrets that speak of a fiery cataclysm. Was this the work of man, of nature, or of something more? Join us as we journey into the heart of an ancient enigma to uncover the lost story of Tanis, a city swallowed by time, waiting to reveal its truth.